It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys under the lights on Monday night.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
Set for football now at AT&T Stadium. Brandon Aubrey has the honors, and we are underway here in Arlington. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick. Thus, inaccurate, incomplete.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. To the air goes Daniels. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Cavante Turpin deep for the Cowboys. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Shifts by him. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
It's been a lot of fun watching him advance in his career. Many people question his ability to throw the football coming out of Mississippi State. He's conclusively answered that question. In addition, a very strong runner and an even better leader.
Play action now, Prescott. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Prescott now. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. The Commander's going to retake the field for drive number 2. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Well, that's something that this defense is not going to be able to allow if they're going to have success here. They've got to be able to wrap up and get guys on the ground. They end up letting him get away, and it turns into a big play here early on. I can just see veteran observers of the game shaking their heads and talking about the dearth of tackling in the game today.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. First catch of the game there for Samuel, and it results in a first down. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
Robinson up the middle. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
Off the play fake, Daniels. And that'll be incomplete.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Daniels looking to throw. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Brian Robinson Jr., a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. You get down this deep, Charles, you hate to settle for a field goal. They roll the dice on 4th down, really just hoping to get that first. But as it turns out, they take it all the way into the end zone.
You mentioned that they took a little bit of a gamble there. Think about it this way. Most teams throw the ball in this situation in the NFL, so they really gambled with a running play, and boy, did it pay off. Pay dirt.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone. They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. They go with Blue between the tackles. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Prescott to throw it. Left side to Lamb. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A 5-yard pass on first down and another 5-yard connection there. They'll run up the middle here with Blue. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 8. Off the play fake, Prescott. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Dietrich Wise running through and dropping him for the sack. Impressive individual effort there. No one was going to stop him around the edge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's why if you play in a 4-3 base and you're a defensive end, that's why you get the big bucks. They count on you to do everything. Defend the run and, of course, get to the quarterback.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Here's Prescott. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Washington ready to try again on offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
Play action, now it's Daniels. Looking for the crossing receiver, and he's got him. It's Samuel. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. And Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Throwing now is Daniels. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 9. Now Daniels. Open man is Noah Brown. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Debo going in motion left. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Robinson. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short definitely was a great time to dial one up.
Here's Daniels. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Here's 2nd and 10. Well, they go play action. Daniels throws the out loud and completes it to Samuel. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. To throw is Daniels. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their 1st-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And the Commanders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
They go play action here on 1st down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Back to the ground with Robinson, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr. with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Commanders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. On play action, Prescott. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Dietrich Wise. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Prescott. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Completes this one to Pickens. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. So the penalty rightfully declined. They'll keep the yardage on the completion.
Still some disagreement by the defense, though, because he thought that was just good, strong coverage, and the contact's going both ways, so why is there a flag? In the end, though, doesn't matter. Still a completed pass.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Out of the gun, they run with blue. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Prescott. He hits blue. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a shotgun handoff, blue. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. So on 4th down, Prescott off, and on is Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal. And his kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And here we go on the next drive for Washington. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. To the air goes Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. Blitz coming, and down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. The pressure that time right up the middle, and he was able to wiggle in there pretty easily and get the sack.
Yeah, sometimes you end up getting caught in a little bit of a breakdown about who to block up front, and that creates the gap there, and he took full advantage, got to the quarterback, and finished off the sack.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Back to throw. Daniels. And he's going to go down again. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Prescott from the gun. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Ferguson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. He finds Pickens over the middle. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball, but I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a one-score game if you can, and that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the first down.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. Second down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
That is caught by Lamb. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 33. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Targets Lamb on the comebacker, pass is complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. To throw is Prescott. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They'll throw again. Prescott. And he wisely will throw that one away.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
And his kick is indeed good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So, barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And not willing to risk a return, this ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
It was a solid first half of football for the Alabama man, Brian Robinson. He had a nose for the end zone as he wound up with 2 touchdowns on the ground in those first 2 quarters.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half? They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Now he's free at the 35. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
First possession of the second half now for Washington. Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will. 1st and 10. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Austin Eckler, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And maybe that's the magic touch right there. They didn't use him at all in the first half, at least running the football. But here they entrust him with some work down in the red zone, and he responds. 1 carry, 1 touchdown.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. Is this a touchdown? That's the question. CD, what are they looking for here?
You just need any part of the football to break the plane. You don't need the whole football. It doesn't need to go over the entire white line. It's just that front part of the white line. And if you draw an imaginary plane going straight up, that's what they need to cross.
So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane. Robinson. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Robinson again. And I don't think he got in. He did not. They mark him short of the goal line. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. So they were stuffed on 1st down, stuffed again on 2nd.
And normally you throw the ball on 2nd down on play action. So here on 3rd down, I'm going to my team and saying, let's line up and let's go out and get it. I get my best running play called, and I go after him one more time.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
It's interesting where we are in the game now. The analytics folks, they might tell you to kick the field goal and make it a 2-score game. But you have to wonder if emotionally they're thinking, let's go for the touchdown and try and slam the door.
A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal. They'll run for it with Robinson. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied. And this Cowboy defense comes up with a goal line stand. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a 2nd time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
That's going to be caught by Pickens. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Off the play fake, Prescott. Drops it to Blue, complete. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Throwing, Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now 1 yard to go on third down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Here's Prescott. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Continuing to steadily move the ball down the field. Not big play after big play, but these moderate gains getting them first downs.
And you know what they add up to, right? If you continue that pace and you continue to move it downfield, they add up into 6 points. That's exactly what you're looking for.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play on the catch and run covering 34 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. From 19 yards away. And the Cowboys go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Throws right side. And he's got it. So they went ahead and went for 2 to tie the game, and it works out. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. No big surprise, Micah Parsons doing what he does so well, dropping him for a loss.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Here's Daniels. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now Daniels. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Now 2nd and 3. A give to Robinson on the option. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
My high school football coach was very fond of saying, you've got to meet force with force. And on a short yardage running play, that's what you're going to encounter. And how about them picking up the 1st down on that one?
Throwing now is Daniels. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a 1st down. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter. To throw is Daniels. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
54 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Option play, and they'll give to Eckler. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Throws the out route and completes it to Samuel. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
All right, field goal gets you the lead here. I mean, but I might want to just go ahead and go for something big.
Oh, come on, you got to kick it.
I mean, you got to be glad I'm not the head coach here, right? The whole team would want to revolt at this point.
And Gay knocks this one through, and they take a 17-14 lead. So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott getting ready to go once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. They start the drive with a give to Blue. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. The offense on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw, Prescott. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On 1st down, it's Blue. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Hey, we often talk about defensive ends setting the edge, sometimes even the outside linebackers, but how about here? This is a cornerback essentially setting the edge and finishing off that play for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Play action now, Prescott. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And that's just an ideal run to start this drive because they're in full ball control mode now. So if you keep ripping off 7, 8, 9 yards of carry, you're going to have a great chance of finishing off this game.
So from the 37, here's 2nd down and 2. And McLaurin, the motion man right. Now Daniels going to give it up on the touch pass. And McLaurin going to pick up a Commander's first down as he'll get this up to the 39.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
Daniels looking to throw.
No receivers open downfield, so instead of forcing the ball to the sideline, he's going to throw this one down to Fort Worth. He'd rather have the incompletion than the turnover.
Now a 2nd and 10. Play action, now it's Daniels. This is caught. It's Brown. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 45-yard line. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. To the air goes Daniels. Open man is Samuel, complete. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Commanders football as we get back to it. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Working out of the gun, Daniels. He's got his target. That's complete. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Eckler now between the tackles. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And he will have a Commander's first down, and that should just about do it. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Washington about to close this one out as they are down to a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So a victory here for the Commanders. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Big D.